Hi folks, welcome back to day 4 of Shoot for the Stars. I'm sorry I missed you all yesterday. This is a really difficult time, and yesterday I was working with some friends and loved ones who have really difficult things going on right now, and just kind of needing to be present with that experience and with them. And I encourage you all to do the same on a day-to-day basis, just assessing what it is that you feel like you need to do to stay healthy and sane and to help those around you. So I'm here to talk a little bit today about isolation, and isolation is of course something that is no stranger to astronauts. And I was thinking that it could be helpful for us during this time to think about what kinds of things help astronauts to work through the isolation and difficulties of being on long-range space missions. So I wanted to share with you a little bit of information that NASA astronauts have shared. They've shared that video chats with loved ones, mission control, or their doctors have been really helpful for keeping them grounded and connected. And resupply missions, times when they're getting little luxuries like maybe fresh fruit, love letters from their spouses or partners. These little luxuries help to keep them sane. So remember that it's good to keep in contact with folks, doing those kinds of video real-time chats with people who you care about, or just anyone. And then remembering that it's okay to give yourself a little luxury right now to help you through this difficult time. Some of the things that astronauts struggle with are things that we might be struggling with now too. Things like sleep disturbances, lack of privacy if you're sharing your space with other people, lack of sensory stimulation, just the monotony of the day-to-day. We don't have the same kind of nice, rigorous schedules that we might have the rest of the time, although that can be kind of a benefit too. If you've gotten a little bit too rigorous of a schedule, this is giving you an interesting little break. And then there's also the potentially life-threatening situations that astronauts might be caught in at any given moment. And I think these are all things that we can commiserate with feeling right now. So what are the characteristics of the new astronauts that they're looking for to help to mitigate these kinds of issues with the crews that they send up? It's helpful for us to think about what are the characteristics we're looking for in astronauts and how can we cultivate those similar things in ourselves. So some of those things include empathy, teamwork, resilience, self-awareness, a good sense of humor. I feel like these are all things that we can work to cultivate better in ourselves during this really difficult time to help us through. There's also been some interesting research on how people respond to isolation done by NASA and other space agencies. So I've put a link in the comments to an article talking a little bit about the High Seas Project in Hawaii, which had potential astronauts or people standing in as astronauts to be in an isolated environment for up to a year that was similar to the Mars conditions. So getting us to think about what it might be like for people being as isolated as on the mission to Mars or on Mars itself. There was also a previous study, I believe in Russia, that was about 520 days doing something similar, looking at isolation in a spaceship type environment, simulating what the mission to Mars could be like. So I think it would be a good time for us to take a page out of the NASA playbook and think about what we can do to better prepare ourselves and help each other through this isolating environment. I hope you enjoyed today, and we'll see you tomorrow. And please share in the comments how you are shooting for the stars during this difficult time. Take care.